Now let's discuss about summarize function. So what it does, it takes a data frame, like we are passing hflight data frame, then it takes any function which you want to do on top of this data frame. Suppose we are passing hflight data and we want sum or average or variance or anything, whatever you want. It can be median, quantile, standard deviation, difference, anything. All the function whatever we know inbuilt function you can pass and it would give you this kind of result. So it's creating a new row, and this row is having all those summarize of those rows. So to really understand this, let's get into the demo of it. So let me walk you through the demo for summarize function. So suppose this is the example where I am passing hflight data and I want two things. One is max and another is mean. Max of what? Max of distance. So distance was one of the variable in hflight and we want minimum for the same variable, but you can ask any on top of any other variable as well. So let's take these things, and you can actually create a new name also. For this I have mentioned it minimum distance, and for max I have mentioned maximum distance. And if you run this code with alt enter, you would get this result. Do you see the similarity between apply function? So when we learned the apply, vapply, lapply, all those functions, it was giving this kind of result. But now you can compare that it has much more flexibility. So earlier, to actually get sum on all of the variable or all of the column, we were using apply function. But what about if you want only on top of one or two variable, not on all of them? So in those cases, this summarize function will be very much helpful. Let's take another example, and before I give you another example, you can actually go through on your own time. These are the couple of examples you can ask for: mean, max, median, quantile, standard deviation, variance, and lot of other function, whatever you know which are actually inbuilt function, you can use those as well. Now the example says print out a summary of hflight with maximum deviation where the longest distance for diverted flight. So print out a summary of that variable max diverted. So we are going to create a new variable called diverted, where the flights were being diverted. So if you remember, there was one column in hflight where it says whether this was diverted or not. So we are saying, so this is what filter. So what a filter does, filter all those rows and give you those specific rows which satisfy the condition. So here condition is diverted is equal to 1. So if I run this, then you would know this divert has 649 observation and 21 variable. Earlier hflight had 21,000 something observation or rows, but now only 649 rows satisfy this condition, which is now in diverted. Now what I want to understand the maximum distance. I want to understand the maximum distance. I want to store that in max diverted. So run the code and you got the result as 3904. That is the maximum difference for those flight which has been diverted. Now instead of creating this diverted first and then pass it on, you can also give the whole thing here itself. So instead of creating a new variable called diverted, you can give the condition itself using filter, and it would work like charm and it would give you the same result. So we can do lot of other example, but what we would do, we'd quickly recap whatever we learned till this now, and then we'll try to create couple of example where each of these functions are being used. So first of all, what we discussed, what is dplyr? So dplyr is a powerful R package to transform and summarize tabular data with rows and columns. And why this is useful? Because the package contains a set of functions, or we call verbs, that perform common data manipulation operation such as filtering for row, selecting specific column, reordering rows, adding new column, and summarizing data. Now, how does it compare with base R function? Because we have seen apply, S apply, L apply, T apply, subset, split, all those are actually part of R base package. So that comes inbuilt. But then why do we need this dplyr package? So compared to base function in R, the function in dplyr are easier to work with and are more consistent in the syntax and are targeted for data analysis around data frame instead of just vector. So if you remember, in those apply, L apply, we are passing list or vector, but here we can directly pass a data frame. So that is one of the advantage, and we have also discussed that this is much more easier and it gives much more flexibility. Now how do I get dplyr? So we discussed it already, that to how to install a dplyr package. So you have to install .package then dplyr, and to load that package you have to call library function. And what are the verbs we have learned till now? We have learned select, which is about selecting a column. Then we learned about filter. Filter is like in Excel, we have a filter function. By filter function we select specific rows, so it gives the similar kind of result. And then we learned about arrange, which reorder in the rows. It is also exactly same as in Excel we have sort function, so it does the similar kind of thing. Now then we learned about mutate. So mutate is about creating a new column from the existing column. And then we learned summarize. So summarize is nothing but it gives you a summarized value of those rows. And we will be discussing about group by in a moment. So group by allows for group operation in the split, apply, combine concept. We will be discussing it in a moment. Then what about similarity and dissimilarity between dplyr package and SQL query? So a lot of people who are actually familiar with SQL language, they would know that SQL has exactly similar kind of functionality. It has select, it has where, order by, column alias, group by. Most of the function exactly works like the dplyr function. Then how this is different? The difference is SQL is actually meant for data query. This is not being used for data analysis, but a dplyr package is designed for doing data analysis work, and it gives you much more flexibility. But still, to remember, whoever knows SQL query, they can actually understand the similarity, that this select is exactly same as SQL query select, this filter is exactly as where, and this arrange is nothing but order by. So you can understand the similarity. Now before we learn about pipe operator, let me walk you through the demo first, where we can actually recap all the learning whatever we have learned till now.